and we look forward to welcoming 56 countries to our shows.
Antigua and Barbuda will be at the center of global business this November. For the first time in its history, the country will host the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, Chogm. A key part of those talks will be the Commonwealth Business Forum.
A lot of business people will come to our country, and they will share technological developments, they will share investment opportunities, and we certainly want to make sure that our local business people are at the table.
Decision makers and thought leaders in business will converge on Antigua for this blockbuster event. Local businesses will get their chance to network and explore cutting-edge partnerships to take their enterprise to the world. Don't be left behind in this fast-changing global environment as technology moves at warp speed. Find out how you and your business can be a part of the Commonwealth Business Forum from November 2 to 4, 2026.
Contact the planning office at 464-5113 today.
The Commonwealth Business Forum will be game-changing. Be a part of it. Hello, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us for this special edition of The Road to Chogm. My name is Garfield Burford. The country is now immersed in preparations for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, Chogm, which will take place this November, the country's historic hosting of the event. One of the crucial side events, one of the crucial forums that will take place is the Commonwealth Business Forum. It will take place to my left here at the Sticky Wicket, the Coolidge Cricket Grounds. Business leaders from around the world will gather in this country to hold consequential discussions on matters of crucial importance to this country and the entire globe. Matters such as the geopolitical and geo-economic flux which has roiled the global economy. Well, in preparation for the Commonwealth Business Forum at Sticky Wicket, there will be an exercise this Monday, the 10th of August, called Exercise Resilience. And it will test the country's readiness from a security standpoint to host the business forum. What will it mean for motorists traveling along Sir George Walter Highway, using, for example, this roundabout to my immediate right? The police have a plan in place for it, for exercise resilience. And they will be explaining for us during the course of this program what you need to know, all you need to know about what will happen between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. next Monday, the 10th of August. Exercise resilience. Stay with us as we unpack all the details of this country's dry run for the hosting of the Commonwealth Business Forum at Sticky Wicket. This is a special edition of The Road to Chogm. It's my pleasure now to be joined by Deputy Commissioner of Police Louisa Benjamin Quashie, alongside three distinguished superintendents as well, and other members of the police force. We're now in the command center of the St. John's Police Station. This is where a lot of the planning activities are taking place in preparation for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. DCP Quashie, thank you so much for joining us for this special edition of The Road to Chogm.
Thank you for having us.
Excellent. Let's start off with what is the next big event that is happening next Monday in preparation for Chogm?
Okay, so next Monday, the 10th of August, we will have Operation or Exercise Resilience, and that is geared towards the business forum. So we'll be stimulating the 2nd of November, and the reason for choosing the 2nd of November is that on that particular day they will have a lot of high-profile delegates visiting that forum, and so we wanted to further test our convoy movements to that particular venue from various venues. In addition, we have decided to use this opportunity to also test our convoy movements to two other locations, and that is Barnacle Point, which is one of the docking areas for the Jumbi Bay Resort, and also Copper and Lumber, where the closing reception will take place. And what we want to do is to basically ensure that the security posture around that particular venue, while the traffic management flow of everything from vehicular to pedestrian is tested on that particular day. So let's go back to the business forum, which is the main forum that will be testing on that particular day. What to expect? There will be no road closure, and I'm sure the public will be happy for that. However, at intervals, there will be disruption of the flow of traffic based on convoy movement. Our operation for that day at that particular, well, the northern side of the island, and more specifically at the business forum, which is at West Indies Cricket Ground, former Sticky Wicket, will be from about 11 a.m. to 7? 7.
8 o'clock? Or 7 or
to
8?
7,
Okay,
yes, to 7 p.m. And what to expect other than the disruption in the traffic flow would be VCP. We will have one VCP. Superintendent Simmons will speak more to that. And we will rechannel traffic exiting the airport. So as in, that particular venue is between the airport and the fire service. Hence the reason for no particular road closure. But there will be some changes to which Superintendent Kwame and to some extent Superintendent Rodney will speak to. As we approach the evening, so between 7 and 8:30, for example, in the area of copper and lumber for the closing ceremony, there too we will have some disruption in the traffic movement because you'll be having convoy going to that venue for the closing reception. Again, movements will be restricted going into the copper and lumber area, that portion of Nelson Dockyard, and we will make some adjustment to the movement of traffic in terms of a one-way in, one-way out. You'll get further information from Superintendent Kwame. With that being said, we want to take the opportunity to thank the public for their support in the past and for their support in the future in terms of our planning and preparation towards Chogm 2026.
Excellent. Before we finish with our interview, DCP Benjamin Kwashi, so there are three things it seems that are going to be happening on Monday the 10th. You're having a simulation exercise for the Commonwealth Business Forum. That's in the area of Sticky Wicket, Coolidge Cricket Grounds.
And that is the main activity.
The main activity.
Yes, it is.
Good. You're also simulating some convoy movements to two other locations. That is Barnacle Point in the area of the Jumbo Bay point, where they leave to go to Jumbo Bay, and also Copper and Lumber.
Copper and Lumber, correct.
What will this mean for motorists? Let's say, for example, those going to the airport on Monday. Will there be any disruptions to those, for example, going to the airport?
Yes, there will be disruption, particularly when the convoys are moving. So it's no different from the usual posture of things. You hear the siren, a convoy is moving, you pull aside, allow persons, the convoy to proceed, and then you continue. Based on the location, as I said, it would not be realistic for us to close off any roadway whatsoever in that particular area. We still have to be mindful that tourism is our main industry, and so the airport is one of the avenues in which persons enter and exit the country. Plus, we have the fire station on the other side. That's an emergency exit route there.
Okay.
But
I know you want to go to Superintendent Elsie Kwame.
And in terms of on exiting the airport, there will be some variation in the way persons leaving the airport will exit that particular compound, and I wouldn't want to go into that area as Superintendent Kwame will speak to that.
But to be absolutely clear, if you're going to the airport, if you have a flight on Monday, there should not be any disruptions on Monday.
There will not be any road closure, but there will be disruption in terms of if there's a convoy. So I don't want to say there won't be any.
Okay,
if there's a convoy, then obviously there will be a delay. And based on the posture that we're planning to implement for that particular location, if a convoy is moving into the sticky wicket area and persons are wishing to exit, that flow of traffic may not be at the natural pace, the normal pace, as if it weren't any activities taking place around that area.
Okay, but you're not.
But there is no closure.
Okay, no road closure, and you can still catch your flights.
Definitely, but what we will advise in the interest of catching your flight is that you leave a little earlier.
On Monday.
So, and bear in mind the timing is from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's the area of operation in that particular area.
Excellent. A final question, DCP Benjamin Kwashi. So, the convoys that you'll be testing, you'll be simulating the movements to and fro the sticky wicket?
Yes.
Movements from Copper and Lumber and Barnacle Point to the sticky wicket?
No. So we'll be testing the convoy movements to sticky wicket from various locations. Okay. So you'll have north, east, south, and west. Convoys will be coming from all the various locations. We'll be testing those.
Going to sticky wicket?
Going to sticky wicket,
okay.
Yes.
Okay. So all in all, you're looking at making sure that you're fine-tuning your preparations for the hosting of the business forum, the Commonwealth Business Forum. Which will be at sticky wicket, you're testing the security posture, traffic movements, the convoy movements, etc.
That's correct.
Okay, all right. And you're asking.
And we're also giving persons the opportunity to have an appreciation of what the actual event would be like in terms of the minor disruption to the normal flow of things.
Excellent. And of course, we're going to be a bit later on. We're going to be hearing from the other three superintendents here with us, and we're also going to be going to the location, so they'll actually show us on the road in terms of what this will mean. But again, you've indicated that you thank members of the public for their cooperation, and you're asking them the same thing on Monday.
Yes, we are. So we would have not the complete walkthrough, but we would have, Superintendent Kwame would have visited some of the businesses within the proximity. For example, the gas station, there are 2 cook shops within that immediate facility. ECAB would have already been engaged through the business forum and is on board, and they're actually testing their capability or what the posture they're planning to implement for Chogm itself. So we are getting support, and so we continue to say thank you to the people of Antigua and Barbuda.
And thank you too as well, DCP Louisa Benjamin Kwashi. We know that it has meant a lot of long hours, so thank you so much for your service personally and for leading members of the men and women of the police force in relation to planning for this. Thank you so much, really appreciate it. Absolutely. We're now here on the Sir George Walter Highway. With us is the head of the police's traffic department, Superintendent Elson Kwame. So just tell us a little bit, we're kind of blocking traffic a little bit.
Yes.
Just tell us what will happen here from Monday the 10th of August and then for November when the actual CDF is taking place.
Well, presently we're at the junction of the Sir George Walter Highway and the road leading to the Antigua Barbuda Fire Station. This is also the junction that leads you to the airport services. So on Monday the 10th, there will be a traffic control point along this junction here, restricting persons from operating within this vicinity. This will be a sterile area. You must have your credential, you must have your pass, your accreditation in order to access from this area. And also this area will be used as an exit point for those persons who are attending the business conference, the business forum in November. So there will be a traffic control point at this junction. The traffic police will be here to give direction. Normal flow of traffic will continue along this George Walter Highway. No obstruction if you're going to the airport. As we get to the roundabout, we'll be able to explain further as to how the traffic flow and the traffic management plan for resilience operation on Monday the 10th of August.
Excellent. All right. So because we're blocking the traffic backing up.
Right.
So let's, of course, we'll do another one where we go to the other roundabout as well.
All
right. There we go.
Traffic will continue to flow as usual.
So we continue to be here, of course, at the Sir George Walter Highway. This is the roundabout which takes you to the BC Bird International Airport. Here with us is Superintendent Elson Kwame again to tell us what will happen on Monday the 10th of August in preparation for and as a simulation for the business forum taking place in November. Over to you, Superintendent.
Yes, as I mentioned before, this is the Sir George Walter Highway. There will be no road closure within this area. However, if you are going to the business forum or the BC Bird International Airport, here would be a traffic control point here where the traffic police will be here to make sure that you said that you are going to the airport, to make sure that you are going to the airport, and to make sure that you are attending the business forum. For those who are attending the business forum, you must have your credentials, your accreditation. You have it to show to the police that you're accredited to enter this facility. And if you are going to the Visible International Airport, then you will also show your credentials that you're able to go down to the airport. So there will be a traffic control point here, no restrictions whatsoever once you have the credentials to enter within these facilities.
Excellent. So for Monday now, as you mentioned, no restrictions, so people can use the road and so on, but there will be some convoy movements, correct? Tell me,
Yes.
how will that impact traffic?
There will be some convoy movements coming from whether north, east, south or west. So once they're coming from north and they approach this intersection, then you will stop your vehicle and allow, once you hear the siren, you will stop, pull to the left as close as possible to the curb and allow the convoy to pass you, and then you continue your normal business as usual. If you're coming from the south, it's the same thing. You pull aside, you hear the siren, you pull aside to the closest as possible to your left, allow the convoy movement to pass, and then you continue merge in the free flow of traffic.
Excellent.
Once you do that, there will be no problem at all, no obstruction, everything will run smooth, and then you will not be interrupted in any way. Just a couple seconds, and then you're on your way to your regular movements. So just cooperate with us, and then we have a smooth flow. And then when Chogm come now, you're accustomed to these things, so it will be even smoother when the time in November approaches.
Very, very good. So the convoy movements, you're testing convoy movements to the Barnacle Point area and also at Copper and Lumber.
Yes.
You're testing convoy movements from those locations coming to Sticky Wicket?
Well, the convoy movements, yes, coming to the business forum,
right.
And after the business forum, when we have the closing ceremony, then from Sticky Wicket over to Copper and Lumber.
Excellent.
So once you hear the siren on your way to English Harbour, you just pull to the left, allow the convoy to pass, and then you merge back into your regular traffic.
Excellent. So no, again, just to be clear, no road closures for the simulation on Monday, but there will be sometimes a few delays when the convoys are passing, when you have to give them away.
Stop and give them away, just a couple of seconds, and then because most of these convoys might be, the most is about 10 to 15 vehicles, the most, 10, 15 vehicles the most. So once they pass, then you continue your smooth flow of traffic.
Excellent. So a traffic control point there
at the service station, one would be here,
right?
And then when we go to the next roundabout in the middle of this facility, then there will be another traffic control point and a VCP, which means the police, the SSU guys will be there, the military will be there to ensure that only those who attend in the business forum who are accredited would be able to pass the VCP point.
So a traffic control point and a VCP, that's the difference. Traffic is just a checking where you're going.
Right, and then the VCP is where you have to go through a screening process and ensure that you are accredited in order to attend the business forum.
Okay, excellent.
And then there will be also VIP and VVIP movements within that venue control point.
Excellent. So when next you see myself and Superintendent Kwame, we'll be inside the airport now, inside the airport compound, and he'll show us what will happen on Monday, and of course for the Commonwealth Business Forum in November, in relation to how traffic will be separated and will be directed in those areas. So of course this is, again, if you're just joining us, this is a simulation, a test run, a dry run if you want, in relation to how the Commonwealth Business Forum will be held in November. The police and their partners, the ABDF, and other stakeholders are testing the system to make sure that they fine-tune all the preparations for the hosting of one of the marquee side events on this Chogm, which is the Commonwealth Business Forum. It will be held here at Sticky Wicket, that's the coolest cricket grounds, and so as a result, that's why we're in this area for this dry run. This dry run will take place on Monday, the 10th of August. It's called Exercise Resilience, and the police, including Superintendent Kwame, making sure that all is in place for this dry run and of course in preparation for the real event in November. Stick around. All right, so we're now inside the compound of the VC International Airport, and Superintendent Kwame will tell us why this roundabout is going to be so crucial, both for the exercise resilience on Monday the 10th and also for the actual event, the Commonwealth Business Forum, which will be held right across from us at Sticky Wicket. Superintendent
Yes,
Kwame,
we
over
are
to you.
presently at the vicinity of the venue control point, the VCP. There will be a VCP right along this portion of the road to control the traffic and the ensuring that those persons who enter the facility, which is the Coolidge Cricket Ground right on my right here, they will be going through a screening process. So you must have your accreditation in order to pass the venue control point, which is the VCP that will be placed right along the road. However, normal traffic flow will continue along the airport going to the VC International Airport on my left, and then persons exited from the airport will also come to this on my left here, and they will go around the roundabout and exit onto the South George Walter Highway and exit from the airport. To my left also is the car park, which would be sterile from parking within that distance from the venue. So this entire area on my left, which is the car park, this is the new car park, this area will remain sterile. There will be no parking whatsoever, because as our security measures, there will be no parking within this area here. However, as I said, the traffic control, the venue control point would be here, and then you'll be able to screen, and then you go into the facilities here.
Excellent, excellent. So that car park to our left, Superintendent Kwame, for Monday the 10th of August, it will be partially restricted.
Partially restricted.
But for the
Monday.
actual event in November, fully restricted.
Entire fully restricted.
Okay.
So we're just asking for the cooperation of the airport's authority to speak to those workers and let them know that they'll be relocated. We also have park and ride system at the Powell's Cricket Grounds, so persons will be able to shuttle in to work. So you don't stay home on that day if you have to work, you just come out to work, but just that you won't be able to park in your comfort zone. You'll be able to displace just for a couple of hours, and then regular business continue as usual after.
You were telling us that the building behind us is going to be used for.
And
what's
then
going to be used for? What's going to be used for?
That would be the control point for the fire department. They'll be having their holding area right in that area here, just in case of anything. The fire would be there to respond as quick as possible to any situation.
Former Stanford International Bank. Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
So you have one other crucial area to tell us about exiting the
airport.
Right, so
yes.
we have one other point that you're going to show us.
Sure, yes.
There we go. All right, so stick around. So Superintendent Kwame has been showing you on the ground what exercise resilience will mean on the 10th of August and what will happen in November when the Commonwealth Business Forum takes place right to my right across Sticky Wicket. The entire field as well as the offices will be used for the Commonwealth Business Forum. Again, one of the real big ticket events of the Chogm, when several business leaders from around the world, some of the Fortune 500 companies, big names in business, will be gathered here, right here in Antigua for this event. Stick around as Superintendent Kwame shows us one other point before we wrap up this section of a special edition of the Road to Chogm. Stay with us. So this is a crucial part of exercise resilience, which is planning for and simulating what will happen in November for the Business Forum. Superintendent Kwame will explain. This will have implications if you're going to the airport to pick up, for example, a relative who comes in on Monday between the hours of 11 in the morning and say 7 in the evening. Superintendent Kwame, what will happen?
Yes, the regular traffic going to the airport will continue on the left down to the airport. However, if you are exiting, and when you are exiting, instead of going around to the car park, then you will come to this area here. You'll make a sharp right at the entrance there. You see the stop sign. You make a sharp right, and then you wind your way up, and then you make a left, and then you on your way to the exit, the VC International Airport. So when you reach the roundabout, just continue left, and then you link with the main road, and then you're on your way out. So there will be smooth flow of traffic. Once you follow the traffic signs, we'll place our cones. Cones will be marked around this area straight down to the roundabout to lead you and guide you into the exit route also the entrance route to the visible international airport. So no one will be displaced. Once you have business at the airport, business would be as normal and as usual as possible. The only difference is that instead of you make that right, you'll make a sharp right here this time, and then you'll exit from this entrance.
Good.
Very smooth.
Crucial, important. So when, for example, you're coming, let's say picking up a relative on Monday during the hours of exercise resilience.
Yes.
Instead of passing the old terminal, and going all the way close to the Sticky Wicket, you will take a sharp
right
and
here and come this way.
So instead of a part of this road being one way going
on, it's now
from
becomes
here it's a two-way.
Becomes two-way, yes, two-way. Becomes a two-way.
So you're making the Sticky Wicket a kind of sterile
area, yes, and the car park area within the sterile area.
Only people who are attending
at the business conference would be able to park in those areas.
Excellent. And again, there might be a few individuals who might not have heard about this program, who would not have seen the program, would not have heard you explain. Right. But you're saying on the day you will have your officers.
Traffic police will be right here. One traffic police will be right here. One will be also placed to give direction, because you must, if you're not looking at this program, we would be on the ground to direct you, because we need a smooth flow at all times without any obstruction. So it's very crucial that we have police officers on the ground to give direction and to lead the public in the right direction in order to get a smooth flow from the
Excellent. So this is one of the most crucial points
areas
here as well.
Because it's not something that you're accustomed doing, it's up changes. So the police will be there to ensure that everything runs smooth. So that when the day of Chogm now, you already know exactly what is expected. So that's why we definitely crucial that we have this assimilation to let the public know. Because if we have to wait until November to introduce these things, there's a lot of complications.
Yes.
So
people are going to get a little confused.
Yes.
So
it's good that we could do it
3 months
now.
on is better to indicate to them. All right. And that's why we're doing this program. That's why we're doing a special edition of the Road to Chogm, so that you can fully understand what will happen both on Monday when there's a dry run, a simulation exercise, and when the real thing happens in November. So no lockdown or anything, no road will be locked down. There will just be a few changes in how you drive on Monday, because the Sticky Wicket, which is the host or the host venue for the business forum, will be a sterile area. So you'll bypass the Sticky Wicket when you're coming out this on Monday.
Right.
That will happen in November as well. Superintendent Kwame, thank you so much. I think you wanted the final comments. You wanted to show us any other area, or this is the main?
Well, this is the main area.
Yes,
the other areas would be the sterile area, and there is a lot of VIP, and we don't want to spell out certain security.
Absolutely. You just want to indicate to the public what the public needs to know in relation to how their movements will be.
Yes,
so perfectly fine for movements in and out of the airport as usual. Just a few little changes in relation to what will happen on Monday for exercise resilience in terms of the route you take coming out of the airport. That will be on show on Monday. And of course, as Superintendent Kwame says, his officers will be on location to guide and direct motorists, so you'll have no problems. This is a special edition of the Road to Chogm. We want to thank the police. I want to thank the Commissioner, Everton Jeffers, Deputy Commissioner, Louisa Benjamin Kwashi, Superintendent Elson Kwame, as well as Superintendent Brantley Simmons, and Superintendent Rowan Rodney
and don't
for
left out
walking through.
Don't left out Assistant Commissioner Joseph, who is the brainstorm.
Samuel Joseph.
Yes, Samuel.
Very good. ACP Samuel Joseph as well. I want to thank everyone. And of course, the ABDF, not in this program, but they have assisted quite ably as well to make sure that the security forces are on one accord in planning seamlessly for Chogm. This is a special edition of the Road to Chogm. See you next time. All right, so now we're hearing from another senior member of the Police's Planning Committee. This time we're hearing from Superintendent Brantley Simmons, who is the officer in charge of the Special Services Unit, the SSU. Superintendent Simmons, thank you so much for your work and your service in terms of planning for exercise resilience. So on Monday the 10th of August, what role will the SSU play in terms of this simulation exercise?
Good afternoon, Mr. Burford, and thank you for having me. Thanks for the opportunity. Now, from a special services unit standpoint, my unit provides security for the convoys, personnel for the vehicle checkpoints, the VCPs, and the quick response force, QRF. But for resilience, we'll not be activating the QRF. We'll just be focusing on the VCPs and security for the convoys. Now, as DCP Kwashi would have mentioned earlier, we'll be having convoys from different locations going to Cricket West Indies, as most of us know, Sticky Wicket. And we'll be providing security for the convoys. Now, once the convoys, each convoy enters, there is, when you get to the first roundabout, there is a vehicle checkpoint there. Every vehicle will be checked. Now, unless the vehicle has a decal or persons entering on foot have a pass, they will not be allowed to enter there. Once they have the requisite permission to enter, they will be given permission by personnel at the VCP. Now, as I said earlier, the quick response force will not be activated because, as most persons know, this is a simulation exercise. And this exercise will test our ability to see whether or not we are ready, or we have to make adjustments if necessary. So then we can go back to the drawing board if there are any requirements for adjustment, and make those adjustments.
Okay.
Now, Superintendent Chogm would have indicated about traffic disruptions, and I want to reiterate that to encourage the public to be supportive of us. Once they adhere to the sirens when the convoys are coming and pull aside, everything should flow smoothly.
Excellent. So there will be a heightened police presence that individuals will see on the 10th of August, and that's next week, Monday.
That is correct.
These are police officers are going to be in dark clothing like yourself, or
Well,
they're going to be wearing the regular police attire, grey top, black bottom?
Police, we have a combination because even at the VCPs, we will have officers in grey and black as well to augment. Right? But most of the traffic control points, as we come indicated, will have the grey and black. But at the VCPs, most person will be tactical outfit, like I am.
Like what you're wearing now.
That's correct. Yes.
So they should not be alarmed, Superintendent Simmons,
not at all.
on Monday when they see a little heightened presence of security forces on Monday.
And the military as well.
Okay.
But because the public will be sensitized prior to Monday's exercise, I don't think anyone will be alarmed on that day. Yes.
Excellent. And that's exactly why we're doing this now, so that we can sensitize members of the public as well. Very, very good. So your role would be to ensure that there can be security for the convoys, and also to man the vehicle checkpoints.
That's correct.
In relation to that. A general point in relation to, as we mentioned, not much in the way of traffic disruptions, like what happened in exercise Stronghold just a few weeks ago. But these will be more targeted interruptions, targeted disruptions in relation to this. What would be your message to the public generally?
To be patient, especially traffic coming from the airport. There will be some disruptions. Once the convoy is coming, the traffic will ask to hold, and the convoy passes, they will continue until the other convoy comes in. But we are appealing to the public to be patient because SIDS, it takes cooperation, and it's a big event, and this is why we're doing the simulation exercise to ensure that everything goes well come November.
Excellent. Excellent. You mentioned the cooperation with the ABDF, the Defense Force as well. So they'll be out on Monday the 10th as well?
Yes, because they'll be assisting us at the vehicle checkpoints as well, and yes.
Very good.
And other areas. Yes.
Good. Will you be using any armored vehicles in either in the simulation exercise on Monday, and as well for the actual event in November?
Actual event, yes, in November, but not for the exercise. We'll not be using armored vehicles for the exercise on Monday.
Okay. Excellent. Well, Superintendent Simmons, thank you so much for your tremendous work and for leading the SSU to guide and to support this process. Crucial simulation exercise that will be held on Monday. And we wish you all the best as you roll out and make sure that you can fine-tune the processes and the preparations.
Yeah, we hope that everything goes well.
Yes, absolutely. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Superintendent Grantley Simmons, the head of the Special Services Unit, who will, as I said, indicating that the public will see some officers wearing dark clothing like what he's wearing as well on Monday. They should not be alarmed because this will be a part of the preparations for Chogm and specifically the Commonwealth Business Forum, which is one of the marquee events, side events of the Chogm event. Thank you so much, Superintendent Simmons. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. When next here we have Superintendent Rodney to talk with us about how his area, how his department has been working in terms of this planning. Superintendent Rodney, thank you so much for joining us. So let's talk about that. How will you contribute to operation or to exercise resilience on Monday the 10th of August?
Thank you, Mr. Burford. And as you clearly state that fire safety is very, very crucial. And for an event like this, Housing Chogm Fire Department has stepped up to the plate and we have provided the necessary resources that are going to be needed. So, crucial role that the fire department is going to play in Chogm, and this is what it is. For an event of that magnitude, it means that emergency response is going to have to be precise, and we are making sure that that is there where we are going to actually place a crew. So we're going to have fire safety crew on site. We're going to have suppression crew on site. We're also going to have search and rescue crew on site. And these would basically be in close proximity of the event. The reasons for that is if we have to rely on the resources that we have outside to be our initial response, then time may be lapse and lives may be lost. So we're making sure that we have fire safety crew in close proximity where we can respond in the event that there is any eventuality of any incident occurring.
Okay, very good. So you'll be having your officers, as you mentioned, in these various capacities on the compound of Sticky Wicket for Monday the 10th.
Okay. So you mentioned on the compound of Sticky Wicket, but they would be really outside. So on the compound, we're going to have our fire safety officers. Our fire safety officers are basically our fire prevention personnel who will make sure that whatever is happening in the vicinity inside is basically safe, fire safety wise. If there is incident involving any incipient fires, those personnel are going to be there to basically alert the fire crew. The fire response crew is going to be staged outside of the Sticky Wicket compound, which will be at the former Stanford International Bank. And there will be a fire apparatus staged there with the crew, along with search and rescue personnel as well with a vehicle.
Excellent, very good. So you have this all planned out, and of course it's crucially important that if there is any sort of eventuality, hopefully everything works smoothly, but you have to also plan for just in case there's any sort of eventuality. You're saying that you have systems in place to respond accordingly.
Definitely.
Let's talk about because of course you have a fire station in that vicinity as well, in the area where there will be the simulation exercise. What will be the impact, if any at all, on that fire station?
Okay. So we got 2 fire stations. You say one, but we got 2 fire stations in that vicinity. One is being located at the former Antigua Air Station, and you have the Coolidge Fire Station. So the Coolidge Fire Station itself, which is basically, they does all the aerodrome operations. Because that day is going to be a normal day, it means that those guys will have their normal functions for the coverage of aircraft, taking off, landing, every aerodrome operation. They will still have to man those operations. Hence the reason why our backup station, which is at the former Antigua Air Station, will be a backup station for the crew that is going to be on site at the Sticky Wicket.
Yeah. Will the services or the operations of the 2 fire stations that you mentioned be impacted at all by the traffic disruptions that Superintendents Kwame and Simmons spoke about?
Okay. So, no, because they are basically still emergency response vehicles, and with us having the opportunity to man those VCPs and those checkpoints and so there. What I will urge the motorists is adhere to the sirens, because on that day you're going to have a number of sirens traveling, whether in convoys or other. I will advise the public to adhere to the sirens and give way to the convoys.
Excellent.
Traveling.
A final question, Superintendent Rodney. So, is the fire department ready for Chogm?
I can tell you right now, we are more ready, right, than ever.
Wow. You seem supremely confident.
Very confident.
Very good. Well, we like that. We like that level of confidence.
Maybe a year ago, I might not be able to say that, a year or 2 ago, but now I am extremely positive that we are ready for Chogm.
Okay. All right. So less than 3 months. We're about 3 months into the country hosting the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Consummate confidence from Superintendent Rowan Rodney, Officer in Charge of Administration at the Fire Department, the Antigua Barbuda Fire Department. Thank you so much for joining us for this special edition of the Road to Chogm. And we certainly commend you as well and your team, your officers, for the work that you're also doing, because it's a multi-sectoral response. It's a multi-stakeholder response in relation to planning for Chogm. So thank you so much for what you've put out. And wish you all the best with Exercise Resilience on Monday.
Thank you, sir.
Speaking now with Police Commissioner Everton Jeffers. Commissioner Jeffers has now joined us at the St. John's Police Station in the area of the Command Center, where a lot of planning and preparations, Commissioner, are taking place for Chogm, and specifically in this case, the Commonwealth Business Forum, which will be between the 2nd to the 4th of November. So, tell me about how you're feeling about how your officers, including, well, led by DCP Benjamin Kwashi, has been leading this effort in terms of preparations.
Well, I must say that I'm very pleased with what I've been seeing for the past few weeks. As you know, we had Exercise Stronghold. That came off very well, and this particular piece of exercise that they're going to be doing now, I looked at the document. It's very well put together. I believe that it is very well organized also based on what I've seen, and I can see nothing but really smoothness coming out of it on Monday.
Excellent. What will be your message to the public and specifically motorists, Commissioner Jeffers?
It is very important that you cooperate with the police. This exercise is for the country. It's in preparation of Chogm. And we need to understand that if we don't practice, we will not be able to execute the program properly. And so this is preparation for that time, and we're looking forward for the support. We're looking forward, we're asking them to exercise patience with us as we conduct these exercises, because this is not going to be the last. This is just one of many exercises that are going to come. And we want to thank them for their patience during the first 2 exercises that we did. And we're looking forward for their continued support. We want to thank the business people, especially because in many respects, I'm sure that they would have lost some revenue during those period of time. We want to thank you for your patience, and we look forward to your complete patience as we conduct these exercises.
Excellent. In terms of resources, it will be a significant outlay of resources for the force. Commissioner Jeffers, satisfied with the level of resources, both human and physical resources that the force has to execute Chogm?
Well, at the present moment, during the exercise, I believe we're going to be having enough resources. But for the coming day, we're going to need much more than we have during the exercise, because that is going to be the real thing. So, yes, I'm pleased with what we have so far, but for the real day, it's going to be much more.
You have the commitment from the authorities to make sure that you have what you need?
Well, the government have to support. It's our day. Yeah. We have to show off. And so we're going to need everything that we ask for, because in order for this to be effective, we must have the tools, we must have the equipment that are needed to make Chogm what it's supposed to be.
Excellent. In terms of the cooperation, the partnerships, the collaborations, Commissioner Jeffers, that are needed for this? Obviously, you're cooperating with the Defense Force, but what about the RSS and what about external partners? What's the level of support you're getting?
Well, so far we have been getting good support from the region and abroad. The Canadians will be supporting us. The British will be supporting us also. But more so than anything else, the region will be supporting us in what we're doing. Even among some of the training that we're going to be doing, the region is going to be coming, working along with us so that when that day comes and we function together, it would be a free flow, smooth flow, because we would have trained together.
Excellent. Very, very good. Well, commendations, Commissioner Jeffers, on what has been accomplished so far. Just following up on what we mentioned about Operation Stronghold, of course, there was that was a 3-day exercise, 2 days that were public-facing, that the public saw. There was one other day that you had some internal logistical work on that. Have you finished the assessment of that? Do you think you need to do another one, another Stronghold, that will have a hard lockdown, a soft lockdown again?
We're not going to do another Stronghold. If you notice, the names are changing. So you have Stronghold and now you have Resilience. I don't know what they're going to come up with next, but look for another name. The next exercise will have a different name. What I want to continue to stress is for the continued collaboration between the agencies. It's very important that we work together now. If we are going to see any success at the end of the day, we have to work together now. Practice don't make perfect, practice makes permanence. So if we do it and do it, it reminds me of the SEAL team. All they do is eat and train. And then when they're called upon, they execute with precision. That is exactly what we're looking for when Chogm time comes.
Well, that's a good measure of the kind of resilience that you're pushing for sea, air, and land in terms of there's some serious training in relation to that. Commissioner, a lot of why Antigua Barbuda is alluring as a destination to host events is the safety of the destination. I mean, yourself, your predecessors, and the officers, both the senior, the top brass, and the lower ranks have been making sure that the country is as safe as possible. But of course, there have been some concerns in recent times. We're August the 6th, and Chogm starts the 1st of November, so under 100 days. Satisfied with the preparation so far, from the police, from the security standpoint?
So far, I am. I'm pretty satisfied with actually the progress of the police force. I am also very pleased about the support that we're getting from the region. I mean, we can't do it alone as a police force. Antigua is 108 square miles, and you know the strength of the force. The regular is 600 and maybe 60 or somewhere around there, and the fire is 200 plus. Chogm need much more than that. And the region is looking at Chogm not as an Antiguan conference or an Antiguan meeting. It's a regional meeting. They recognize the significance of coming on board with Antigua, because some of them said to me, if Antigua failed, the region failed. And so we have to give whatever support we're going to give, and we're looking forward for that support with open arms.
Well, Commissioner, thank you so much. We wish you and your men and women all the best for the force, because your success is the success of the entire nation. So as the person was right in saying that if you fail, everybody fails. It's really all hands on deck to make sure that this succeeds. So thank you so much for the effort, the tremendous effort that you're putting in. And I suppose you'll probably, I was saying to DCP Kwashi earlier that you perhaps need a bigger room for this. What do you think? You want to give them more resources in relation to planning?
Well, what I can say to you is that for the time being, we have to work with what we have. And again, I hope when the public sees this, or even the government, they will recognize the significance of the work that we do and provide us with those things that are necessary to make it even better. I am looking here now and I'm saying it almost look like the war room.
The situation room. Yes.
But the war room, because the war room in the US is similar. So you're sitting down and you're watching what's happening on the television, and you're watching if it goes according to what is planned on the paper. So I'm looking at the television and I'm watching the monitor, and I'm saying, okay, yeah, okay.
So you like what you're seeing in terms of what your officers have been putting on?
Oh, I saw it before, and I'm very much enjoying it. When I come down here, I feel so relaxed. When I'm up in my office, all I see is paper and work. So this is really refreshing.
Absolutely. Commissioner, thank you so much. Commissioner Everton Jeffers, spending some time with us as members of the police force and, of course, their partners and stakeholders. Continue preparations for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, and specifically for exercise resilience on Monday, the 10th of August, simulating what will happen on the 2nd of November, when, of course, that particular forum, the CBF, the Business Forum, begins. Thank you so much, Commissioner. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Burford.
Absolutely. Antigua and Barbuda will be at the center of global business this November. For the first time in its history, the country will host the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, Chogm. A key part of those discussions will be the Commonwealth Business Forum. It will be hosted by the Commonwealth Secretariat in partnership with the government of Antigua and Barbuda and the Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council, CIWIC.
The road to Chogm will therefore focus on new initiatives for high-impact investments, building deeper trade and investment partnerships.
A lot of business people will come to our country, and they will share technological developments, they will share investment opportunities, and we certainly want to make sure that our local business people are at the table.
Decision makers and thought leaders in business will converge on Antigua for this blockbuster event. Local businesses will get their chance to network and explore cutting-edge partnerships to take their enterprises to the world. The sub-region will also be engaged, as the forum will feature the Investment Summit with a participation from the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Find out how you and your business can be a part of the Commonwealth Business Forum from November 2 to 4, 2026. Contact the planning office today at 464-5113. The Commonwealth Business Forum will be game-changing. Be a part of it. So the excitement continues to build, the anticipation continues to build. The country is immersed in the preparations for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. And as we've been hearing for the past hour or so, one of the marquee events of Chogm in November will be the Commonwealth Business Forum. It will attract the who's who in the world of business in the global economy. Some of the biggest names in business will be here to attend the Commonwealth Business Forum. It will present an opportunity for networking by local businesses, not only in Antigua and Barbuda, but across the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. You would have heard on our newscast earlier the breaking news about two of the participants at the Commonwealth Business Forums, two of the speakers, two of the attendees who are confirmed to be here at the Sticky Wicket, the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, for that game-changing event. We'll talk about these two gentlemen and more, others who will be here for the Commonwealth Business Forum. So as you've seen, the police are outlining their strategies, their plans for next Monday, when, of course, there will be the exercise resilience. It will test the country's readiness to host the event at Sticky Wicket, the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, and the police say all is in place for exercise resilience. It is an all-of police force approach, essentially, and they're having the assistance of the Defense Force and the RSS and other partners to make sure that their security posture is appropriately set for the event in November. As I said, quite a few officers engaged in this process. We spoke with 5 of them today, including the police commissioner. But in 2 of those we didn't speak with, who are part of the planning committee from the police force, are ACP Samuel Joseph, Assistant Commissioner of Police, and Superintendent Rodney Ellis. who plays a crucial role in the convoys. You would have seen there earlier from Superintendent Grantley Simmons, who is the head of the Special Services Unit, the SSU, and his team provides security for the convoys. There is Superintendent Simmons. So it is it's a mammoth logistical exercise. And the police say all is in place for the event. So here now, we are proud and pleased to be joined in studio by Celia Roberts Morgan. Mrs. Roberts Morgan has played an instrumental role. She has worked indefatigably to ensure that the Commonwealth Business Forum will be executed seamlessly and successfully in November. She's the coordinator, as we said, of the forum, and she's been working very, very closely along with the committee. The committee is led by Rasona Davis-Crump, who is the financial secretary, and also, of course, adding her time. I mean, I don't know how she finds time, but she finds time to make sure that she can also lead the planning committee for CBF. Celia Roberts Morgan will speak with us about more of the guests and the participants who are confirmed for the business forum. And I can tell you, the names are already game-changing. Celia Roberts Morgan, thank you so much for joining us on this special edition of The Road to Chogm.
Thank you for having me here again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you so much for your work in relation to, I know it's a lot of work that you put in, and with under 3 months to, or roughly 3 months to go, it is going to get even more intense.
Correct.
Indeed. So let's look at exercise resilience and why this is so important in preparations for CBF in November.
Okay, exercise resilience is actually going to give us a picture of what actual day will be like. It's all well and good for us to say we have a plan on paper. However, when you start putting it into play, things come up that you may not have thought of. There are things that, the unforeseen things. There are things that don't happen the way on paper when it rolls out in actuality. And so this operation, this exercise is going to give us the opportunity to test these things, to test our plans, to test our readiness overall, our communication, our processes, and make sure that we have everything step by step lined out as to how we should respond, how we should communicate, how do we greet people, and especially where protocols, how do we handle different levels of our delegates who will be coming in as a matter of protocol as well. So everything will be put on the test come Monday.
A bit of a stress test.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Indeed. Very, very good. So this is a crucial part of the exercise, the planning for it. In general, apart from even as we look forward to exercise resilience, but even apart from that, how is the general planning going for the event, in your view?
General planning is coming along very well. If I just flash a little bit over to exercise resilience,
Sure.
This has given us a taste of what it will be in November. We have been heads down since last week. We are in one room, our team is in one room, one conference room, all around the table, and we're planning, we're testing, we're meeting, discussing, trial and error, brainstorming, just to make sure we have everything in place for Monday as well. It is an opportunity for us to test each other as you have a soundboard. Do you have this in place? Roll through what your area of responsibility is going to be doing and how you're going to be doing it. And you have multiple persons around the table. And they say, oh, have you thought of this? Or what about this scenario? We need to provision for this. So this is really whipping us into shape, so to speak. Overall planning, it has been coming along well. We have sponsorships that are coming on board. We have our layout of the grounds that we are finalizing as well. We have had an opportunity to work with the audiovisual team overall for the task force and map out how everything will be laid out in our pavilions in terms of stage, in terms of lighting, sound, where we're going to place different things. So it has been quite intense with our planning over the past 4 to 6 weeks. And building out now, we're now putting everything that we've had on paper in play to get things going.
Excellent. Just stepping back a little bit in terms of the CBF, the Commonwealth Business Forum. There are 3 entities which are organizing it, planning it, coming together. Just talk with us about who organizes it and how many people are we expecting to come to that event by itself. Not Chogm overall,
just
but the CBF. Yes.
The business forum, we are working with, first of all, the Commonwealth Secretariat. Then we have the business arm, which is a Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council, and of course, the government of Antigua and Barbuda. So the three entities, we meet regularly, we have discussions on a regular basis, we have meetings. Our planning takes place in collaboration. We are across the ocean. We are planning and mapping out everything. We each have areas of responsibility. For example, CWIC, Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council, they're looking at a lot of the sponsorship, contracting for overseas, international. They're also looking at speakers and programming. On the ground, we're taking care of logistics. We're getting the layout, the design, the decor, making sure we have everything mapped out here on the ground. So we have divided the work to make sure that we bring everything together and that nothing is left out. In terms of numbers, initially we looked at 500 to 600. But I have to tell you, Garfield, there is so much interest that has been generated for Chogm being here in Antigua, that we're now looking at between 700 to 800 delegates.
Wow.
We have quite a bit of interest. We have locals who are Antiguans who are living abroad, diaspora, who have been contacting us. They want to get in on this. They have businesses overseas, but they want to get in it. They want to be here. They want to be a part of this.
Fantastic.
Yes.
The level of interest is fantastic.
Yes.
But again, just remind us, please, Mrs. Celia Roberts Morgan, about the opportunities that this will create for local businesses, the networking opportunities. Let's talk about that, because it can't be overemphasized, can it?
No, it cannot. And I know there's a question, well, what are you going to get out of it? What is it that's tangible? The tangible thing is you are making a contact. What you do with that connection is up to you. How you engage the persons that you have before you is up to you, and where you take it from there. Being certain that you have a plan, you're able to communicate clearly what your business has to offer, what your business is about, what is it, what's your vision, and so that if it is that you're looking for an investment opportunity, or if you're looking to scale your business, that you have all of your details ready and that you can clearly communicate that to persons who will be here as well. And of course, it is up to you. We facilitate, we create the atmosphere. We have networking spaces. We have opportunities for you to book one-on-one meetings as well. We'll have an app that will facilitate you seeing who is present, and you can book meetings and discussions with persons and businesses ahead of time as well. So there are opportunities, but it is up to us, each individual business, each individual delegate, to make the best of that opportunity.
Excellent. Very, very good. I mean, this sounds extraordinarily exciting for businesses. There will be an investment council on this as well. Let's talk about that.
Okay. So
or investment summit.
The investment summit is going to look, well, first of all, there is a component that is the Eastern Caribbean central banks. They are having a roundtable which will open up discussions, of course, as to what's happening, investments for small islands, for the region, and foster discussions with investors and companies for businesses within the region, entities within the region. And of course, the financial institutions, more opportunities for financial institutions within the region as well to grow, to expand their businesses. On the other side of that, we have what we're looking at as the investment summit, where we will have persons who are investors who are ready to finance opportunities and ideas to meet investment-ready projects. So we are working with several organizations on the ground, and we are putting together how this will be structured. Our team is going to work along with the Antigua and Barbuda Investment Authority and drive the interest and the preparation process for businesses. And we're looking for businesses that are investment ready. This means that you must have your business plan. You must be ready with all of the details, be able to present and do a short, concise, but impactful presentation to investors. You'll only have a few minutes. And in that, you have to impress or pique interest in the potential investor to the point that you can start a discussion. We're not promising contracts, for sure, but we are presenting an opportunity for you to be heard, for your presence to be seen, for your product or your business to be presented on an international platform.
And this, of course, is a market of potentially 2.7 billion people.
Absolutely.
Across literally all areas of the world.
Around the globe.
So the Americas, here in the Americas, Africa, the Asia Pacific.
Correct.
And Europe.
Correct.
Extraordinary.
Yes.
Let's look now at, we mentioned earlier, we gave a little bit of a teaser about some of the guests and some of those who have been confirmed.
Yes.
Some of the billionaires and some of the movers and shakers in the world of business, Celia. Let's look at, so two of these. Let's talk about these two gentlemen, Celia, their names.
Okay. Absolutely. So we have here, first of all, Sir, our very own David Harrison. And many may not know about David Harrison, but he has been very instrumental in the Antigua and Barbuda community. And as you know, someone who has gotten involved, someone who has looked to build out, to help to build our economy, to give back to our economy as well. And what do we have coming out of that? An educational institution.
The Harrison Center.
The Harrison Center.
Yes,
and many people are not aware of that. He has been in business for many, many years, and is someone that we need to tap into. His knowledge, his background, his network as well is one that we need to tap into, and he's actually going to be one of the speakers at the business forum.
Excellent. Very good. So David Harrison, who is behind £4 million sterling as a donation to make the Harrison Center possible, the expansion, the build out of the Harrison Center. He is one of those movers and shakers in the world of business who will be at the business forum in November. We also have
Dr. Andrew Forrest.
Good.
And Dr. Andrew Forrest is the founder of Fortescue out of Australia. And he, of course, is a very wealthy businessman. He's in the category of billionaires in Australia. And he's known as the chairman of the Fortescue, one of the world's leading iron ore producers. And he is very well associated with green energy. All of his companies have looked at shifting from the traditional what's it called, fossil fuels?
Yes.
Fossil fuels, and looked to move towards decarbonization, look to eliminate fossil fuels altogether, and ensure that you can invest in green hydrogen. He has also looked at green iron and green energy solutions. So he has made a mark in Australia, and he will be here. And we have quite a bit that we can learn from him and tap into as well. Again, his network, his resources, this will be available to us. And he will be a speaker also at the business forum.
Excellent. By the way, if you're just checking, you saw two pictures there of the two men we spoke about. One on the right is Mr.
No, that's Andrew Forrest.
Andrew Forrest, there you go.
Dr. Andrew Forrest.
Dr. Andrew Forrest, and he is
the founder of Fortescue.
Fortescue, there you go. All right.
Australia.
So there we go. So two billionaires will be among those who are gathered here, the movers and shakers in the world of business. And you also have more. So these are just two. And I suppose you're just starting to unveil the list.
Yes, we are.
The real massive list. But there are others as well.
So we have now two bankers. We have from the UK the CEO of Crown Agents Bank, and that is Niraj Kapoor from Crown Agents Bank in the UK, and he's an experienced banker with more than 20 years experience, and he has worked at the level of the C-suite level, being a CEO, a CFO in banking for many, many years. And under his leadership as well, he has worked with small to medium enterprises through banking, and has done quite a bit through his organization as well for SMEs. And this is something that we can tap into also, and particularly from the banking, from the financial sector, and learning from their experience would be of great benefit to us.
You mentioned that there are two bankers.
Yes, that
Who
was
the other?
one.
Yes.
The other one is the president of it's Afrmex Bank in the Cameroon.
Right.
And this is George Lobi, is it correct? I'm hoping I have said that.
Never mind. We will have plenty of time to
Okay,
explain all those
all right.
pronunciations. That's fine. No
Okay,
worries.
and so his background is law and banking, financial services, so he's bringing that double component to the table as well.
Good.
And he's also, he has also been a former lecturer at the University of Hull in the UK. So he has quite a diverse background that he's bringing to us as well, but what he's presenting here is his financial services experience, and he'll be speaking at the Business Forum on financial services.
Afrexim Bank is extraordinarily powerful. Of course, this country, Antigua and Barbuda, the rest of the Caribbean, are looking to enter into more partnerships with Afrexim Bank. And this is of course the Africa Export-Import Bank, Afrexim Bank for short. And it is an opportunity for us to connect the Caribbean and Africa
Absolutely.
as well. And essentially connecting the entire Commonwealth.
Correct.
So here is Afrexim Bank, which is developing an expanding footprint in the Caribbean in terms of investments, in terms of loans, and so on. And here's an opportunity for us to network in this country and across the rest of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, across the entire Caribbean, across Africa, across the entire Commonwealth, with the president of Afrexim Bank. So these are not mid-level members of these institutions. These are the top-level members of these institutions. The president of Afrexim Bank.
Yes.
That is huge. So David Harrison, huge. Dr. Forrest,
yes,
huge. And so bankers, mineral moguls.
Yes.
We're talking about investment gurus and investment moguls. This is the who's who of business. And again, I think you're just scratching the surface because there's so many other names.
There's so many others, and we will roll out some names over time and share more information with the public. The public wants to know who's coming and what they can get out of it, who they can interact with as they are coming in as delegates. One of the other persons that we have here is a group managing director from Prime Atlantic, and the Prime Atlantic is into energy as well. And he is a group manager of several companies, which has formed a global strategic alliance. It is AO, is it correctly?
Yes,
AO, Atuleo. And he will be one of our speakers as well. And his background also is quite impressive, having come from food and beverage, the company that he's working, food and beverage, maritime services, aviation, public sector as well. So there's quite a bit for us to tap into.
And the repertoire is so diverse in terms of the background of the speakers and these participants in the Commonwealth Business Forum. We have about 3 minutes left in our program.
Certainly.
Celia, let's talk about, again, individuals watching, they might not have heard about it before. They're just hearing about it this evening because of exercise resilience.
Yes.
And they're hearing about you speaking so excitedly about it. What can they do to participate at this stage?
So at this point, what we're looking for is participants to form or to act in as delegates, etc., to ensure that we can get the true experience of the numbers and test our ability to manage the flow of people and delegates coming through. And persons who are interested in being an actor, to assist us with this exercise, they can reach out to us at 725-0309. 725-0309. And if we can do that, we would need to get our actors in place and have a discussion with them by tomorrow at midday, because we do have to assign them their tasks. We have to get badges ready for them for Monday as well. So we would need to know the persons who are involved. The time frame that we're looking at is approximately 10 a.m. to about 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon. So if there are persons who are at home and they have this time on hand, that they are willing to offer national service and work with the team to have a deeper understanding of what the business forum is going to be like. We are looking for delegates, we're looking for persons to act as heads of state, and we will assign these roles. and we will be you'll be going through the convoys and in these, so it will be a little bit of excitement, and you get to experience what the delegates will be experiencing come November.
So you get to be a VIP or even a VVIP.
Or VVIP.
Fantastic. I mean, and this is, how more exciting can it get? This is fantastic. Great opportunity. Remind us of the number, please, Celia.
The number is 725-0309.
Excellent. You still want volunteers as well for the actual summit?
Overall, yes, we do. And there is a process. You can find that information on the Chogm website. Outside of that, if you contact the business forum directly, and we will channel you through the correct stages and the correct channels to register as a volunteer. But the number to call, or the number you can WhatsApp or text as well, is 464-5113, and that is the business forum secretariat number, 464-5113, and that is if you're interested in being a volunteer for Chogm come November.
Excellent. So that's volunteer. And finally, in relation to businesses which want to either sponsor the event, I suppose sponsorship opportunities are still available.
Open. Yes, they are.
And if they want to participate, they want to register to participate, they want to be there, they want to be in the same room with the president of Exim Bank and the head of an iron ore company in Australia, what do they do?
They contact us, same number, 464-5113. And I know we've heard some persons say we haven't received a response. Yes, we have received your information. We have put it into our database. And what is going to happen, the next stage is we will share the information on accreditation, because persons will have to be accredited to be a part of the process. So we will be sending out information very soon in terms of accreditation to all the persons who have submitted information to us and have registered their interest.
Excellent. Celia Roberts-Morgan, coordinator of the Commonwealth Business Forum, we thank you so much. There's so much more to discuss and unpack. Fortunately, we will have many of these sit-downs again going forward, of course, between now and the holding of the Commonwealth Business Forum. Just remind us again the date and the location, please.
The Commonwealth Business Forum is going to be at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds from the 2nd of November to the 4th of November 2026. So 2nd of November to the 4th of November 2026, Coolidge Cricket Grounds.
It is the marquee forum of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. There will be other forums. There will be the People's Forum, where civil society will be engaged. There will be the Youth Forum. There will be the Women's Forum. There will be an I-Summit. There will be a Sports Summit. There will, of course, be a cricket match. Because what is the Commonwealth sports without cricket? Because all of the leading test-playing nations in the world are in the Commonwealth.
Correct.
The West Indies, Australia, New Zealand, England, Pakistan,
India,
Sri Lanka, India, of course, the biggest in terms of most populous country. And the Commonwealth, 2.7 billion people, one of those countries accounts for about 1.5 or 1.6 billion people. That's India, the most populous country in the world. So, this is exciting. This is where the rubber hits the road. This is where businesses in this country and across the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union get a chance to network with some of the movers and shakers in the world of business. At a time when there is a global disruption to the world of business. Not only from trade and geopolitical flux, but also from technology, because there's disruptive technology, there's artificial intelligence, there's the Internet of Things, there's a fifth industrial revolution. All of it is converging to really make this summit so crucially consequential. That's why you have to be a part of it. We will, of course, continue to engage with you on the road to Chogm. We'll make several stops, and we'll perhaps make even more frequent stops on the road to Chogm as we are getting closer to the event. Fewer than 100 days separate us from the start of Chogm, and it will be game-changing, as you hear several times on ABS. Celia Roberts-Morgan, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here and also for your great work.
Thank you.
We want to also thank Rosona Davis-Crum. Mrs. Davis-Crum is the head of the committee planning the Commonwealth Business Forum. So next Monday, the 10th of August, a reminder, that there will be a few traffic changes, no lockdowns, no roads will be locked down, but there will be a few traffic changes, especially, for example, if you're leaving the VC Verde National Airport between, let's say, 11 and 7, 11 a.m. and 7 p.m., you'll just exit another way. So that will be, but I mean, business continues as usual.
Yes.
But this is an opportunity to test how the event will be held from the 2nd to the 4th of November at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, popularly called Sticky Wicket. And that is where this will unfold. Thank you so much for having joined us for this special edition of The Road to Chogm. We thank the police officers, of course, led by the Police Commissioner, Everton Jeffers, who spoke with us and who shared so much of their time today. We thank members of our team who made this possible, including Colin Armstrong and Seth Joseph, especially, as well as Clifton Matthew and Julie Pogson, who were camera operators on the day. We thank you so much for having joined us. Much more, of course, coming up on The Road to Chogm. I'm Garfield Burford. See you next week. Bye-bye.